Hello, it is I, Jaden. We play D&D. I'm here with Andy, Zane, Ross, Jackson. If you don't know what's going on, look at the description, episode title, there's a number. It's not the first one. Watch this one if you're after the one before. Without further ado, let's get ready for tonight's episode of Orbit 21. Now that I have my true fans here and everyone else is left, like and subscribe. We're on YouTube Music. Head to roll21.com if you want to read a little bit about us or check out our merchandise. Also, there's a link in the doobly-doo. So I'm excited. Let's play the game. This is not the music I wanted. I wanted exploration music.
Shouldn't you have also hit the button to make it go and do the thing?
What thing?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Just recap.
Oh.
What thing?
The thing.
Not yet? Soon?
It's coming. I don't know. Gosh, too much awkward space has occurred. Now, the group departed from Jupiter. Actually, I'm going to say this. Awkwardness is just a feeling. If you feel it, it's your fault.
That makes me feel awkward. Duly noted.
It's true. The group departed from Jupiter to investigate Scott's AI infection. They collectively devised a strategy to communicate with Al and understand his intentions. It appeared that Al could access any bot he connected to. The group then journeyed to Connemara, Europa, intending to find a Scott bot. However, they ended up at a Build-A-Bot and bought a suitable replacement instead. They conversed with Al and discovered that he was compiling what he called a kill list, indicating his intentions might lean towards malevolence rather than benevolence. The group then was attacked by the bot and sold its remains back to the store for double what they paid for it. They subsequently planned to travel to Earth, but realized they would need access to the ORB on Europa. All right, you all are gathered around the exterior of this spaceport located on Connemara, which is a relatively cold, icy environment. And you have just kind of walked outside. Your ship is just a quick stairway up to a platform so that you can fly away should you want to go that way, or you can head to the ORB. And the ORB is, of course, connected, but it is some distance away. You will have to ride a tram to get there. Or you can walk, depending on how you feel. I'm presenting it as an option. I'm not necessarily saying that it's like... I like to phrase it in a way that it's more like ooh, we could explore that and get XP or random loot part of a video game, you know? Mm-hmm. Where it's like, that seems like a place we could go, but it's not the obvious main path.
Do I see any signs on the wall like tram, 5 credits? Or like,
yeah, there is a this way to tram sign, basically. It's like everybody kind of writes in English. It absorbed most of the galaxy.
It's common.
Yep. And up on the wall, it's just got like an arrow and then like a little train symbol. And then underneath it says, restrooms, and it has like another arrow in a different direction. It's like it's like an airport. I mean, that's really where you're at. And you see people kind of walking around and all that. But you guys are outside.
So do we take the tram? Will that be too obvious?
I mean, as far as we know, no one knows that we're here.
Except for Al.
But while we may not know his true intentions, I do not think that he actively wants us dead. I think he still has a use for us, and when he does try and kill us, it will be after we achieve more of his things that he wants us to do.
So Memory is there, and she has blue hair and is covered in cyberpunk wires. She
like
wears,
you do.
Yep, she wears like a yellow coat, and you see her like pull a little like thing on her coat, and then her coat kind of unravels into a large like whole, like, what's the word I'm looking
for? Poncho?
Yeah, like it covers her in a way that would keep her insulated. I'm looking for the word that's like what swimmers wear. You know what I'm talking about?
It's like a swim cap.
Oh,
no.
I like those big
Wetsuit.
jackets.
Yeah, those huge jackets
Yeah.
That like swim people wear. Not like a
I'm
cap.
totally off base.
Yeah, not a cap.
Parkas?
Parka. That sounds
Sure.
right. That sounds right.
People wear parkas.
We're gonna go.
Yeah, oh
with
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
because they keep themselves warm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they get wet.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Brothers
think...
got to think
Watch
like
like
two.
jump
watch like
into water.
Michael Phelps after he gets out, he'll like throw on like a huge coat.
Evaporation. It's
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah, it's cool. So anyway, she sort of pulls her coat and has that, and as the midst of her saying that, of course, you all look her way, and she uses the moment to say, "So, I'm worried though that Al has connection to, of course, bots, but also electricity and things of that nature. We, as silly as it might sound, going away from the rail and finding our own road to pave may be safer."
With that in mind, what's stopping him from taking you over like Scott?
Oh, I'm organic. All of my operating functions are human.
But you have wires.
So,
While it may be possible for memory to be sabotaged to some degree, she would not be overcome like my neural processing unit, which is entirely dependent on computation.
Got
Can we
it.
overcome?
He can overcompensate for something.
currently, if you remember, Scott is surviving on duct tape and a signal, keeping keeping him from being hacked. He's always giving off some sort of counter frequency,
A disruptor signal for Al.
right, which also
Alright.
makes him susceptible to, like, I guess if you were like a bat or something, you'd be like, or like a spider, you'd see as
Right.
like, you know,
Something that can pick up on ultrasonic frequencies.
something that
would
could
be able
detect
to-
that, and then also something that could detect just like raw electrical. I mean, obviously he's that anyway, but just something to think about.
Yeah.
Obviously, in a world of crazy sci-fi, it's
Right.
just something.
Well, we killed the one guy, so I don't think we have to worry about that.
You killed the little bot, the little
No.
little
I'm
platform.
talking about
we
the
killed
lightning guy
Scotty.
that tried to kill us.
You did kill that guy, yes.
So we don't have to worry
yeah.
about him.
It was a while ago.
But
No,
I mean,
It's
if we're
like, according to you guys, it was like yesterday.
I know.
Right.
all right,
Moved
so
on.
Have we?
then because we need to get to the inner gap so that we can figure out the best way to go. Oh, sorry, we need to go to the orb so that we can figure out the best way to get through the intergap to get to Earth to investigate it. So I think
don't-
based on what
I don't hate that logic.
memory is saying, I think we need to go on a hike, guys.
Okay. Well,
To be clear, I'm sorry. I was
You're fine.
doing producer stuff. Which planet are we on right now?
You're not on a planet at all.
Conam-
okay,
You're
we're
on
still-
Connemara, Europa,
Conam-
which is
Right,
which
okay.
is Europa
We haven't
is a
left the
moon
airport
of
yet.
Jupiter.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
It is in fact the place that you guys all first convened to get on the inner gap.
That's right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. And
All right.
we're headed toward a side quest.
No,
not exactly.
I'm giving you hopefully story reasons, plot based reasons why you should go off the beaten path.
All right.
So like the
We're going on an adventure.
monorail at Nimbus, we're walking.
Right.
But this time, the monorail's functional.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Scott's not entirely functional. Maybe.
Well,
or
No, he's
just
I-
more dangerous.
I am one piece of duct tape away from becoming enemy eyes and ears.
I can help you.
Oh, I ripped it.
I can fix him.
Dude.
I just going.
I don't know if I did that. I bet that's Joey's
On
fault. I'm gonna
radiation.
blame Joey live on TV here. It's not his fault, but I'm gonna blame him.
I mean,
Okay.
does Joey watch
That sounds
this? Will
fine.
he ever
Yeah,
know
sure.
that we blame him?
He doesn't watch this. You should shame him in the comments.
Okay,
Shame.
we'll do.
Shame.
We're gonna get big
Got
one
it.
day. and
I
you're just
watch-
gonna see
I watch
thousands of
every show.
comments.
I do. Now,
I'm
when
going to after
You're
I
also
catch
a
up
part
with the
of
ones
most
I'm
of the
in.
shows.
when do I watch them? That's a different question.
I think that while we've lost the element of secrecy on this station. However, I do think it would still be prudent to avoid further detection, even though our presence has been made known to
Well,
Al.
I don't think everybody knows. Just
No,
Al.
but until we know more of Al's intentions, let's try and give him as little data as possible.
But aren't we also like gonna have to break into a thing that is controlled by those guys who are after us?
I'm not saying it's the soundest of logic. I'm just saying let's try and make Al reactive instead of proactive.
A good way to put it.
I like that.
So we're walking.
So you begin to walk. You head down these set of stairs, and
We're not taking the tram?
why don't you all go ahead and kind of explain to me. Basically, what I want you to do is I want you to help me define the scene. So basically, I'll give you this much. Where
are we?
Right.
Yeah.
It is cold, and you're essentially walking around this like hard. It would be like cement, but of course this is not made of this. It's similar, right? But you're basically walking around this cement platform. So you're up against a wall, right? And this wall, on top of that and slightly underneath it, is all of the mechanical sort of platforms and areas that would head up into this, not city, but like this port, right? There's occasional shops and all those things, but you're on the other side of this wall.
Mos Eisley's to Styleport.
No, it's more like Treasure Planet.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, so it's a bunch of like kind of spires and different various building heights, but it's all on the other side of this huge cement wall slab. And you know, as you can see from your vantage point near your ship, you look over in the distance and there is a stairwell that would lead you up towards the intergap pillars, right? That's the best way for you to get over there, and it sort of allows people who are out in the wilderness to go up there. Now, that's where you're going. So you're basically going to walk a couple miles. I say probably more like a handful. So probably 4 or 5 miles to get to that place. You can see it from where you are. It's cold. And it's icy. In the distance, there is, very far in the distance, a series of what look like drill silos, like drill sort of structures, and like they look like there's wheels on them, and they kind of have a setup where they're drilling into the ice, but that's way out in the distance.
Okay.
Is there anything else of note?
I mean, obviously, as we are on a moon of Jupiter.
An ice moon.
Yeah, an ice moon of Jupiter. Just depending on the time of day, which I'm going to say it is here, you can see the planet. You can see all the storms. You can see all the clouds. You can see the atmosphere of Jupiter. I mean, we're on the planet. So
It would be huge in the sky, right?
Exactly. It would take
Yeah.
up probably most of the sky, probably giving off a reddish tint to the air.
I would expect to see some security towers.
Okay.
After all, this is a transport hub,
Yeah.
so there'd be some
Maybe
Might be
some
looking
turrets.
Might be looking up though.
looking up,
Right.
looking out, kind of like to prevent terrorist attacks and or whatnot.
Patriot Act?
Okay. So with that added detail, you look up and you see the hue is red in the sky as the Jupiter peers at you. And you also see, I'm going to add even further, you see these towers, and atop these towers are snipers. And they have just their weapon resting. It seems that this weapon is attached actually to the edge. It's like like a swerving, swiveling sniper. It doesn't look like it's able to be lifted off, but it's connected. And then you
But
see
it-
these people.
But it can only go so far.
It can only go so far on a swivel, right? And then you also see occasionally some people walking along the edges who appear right and left to kind of look over the wall as well. Is there anything else? You two?
I imagine that Joe Thor is still pretty bundled up because of the cold.
Mm-hmm.
I got
His
my
fur.
Yeah, but
Have we established
with the
what
fur.
time of day it is?
Well, there's really, in this scenario, not really a day-night cycle to worry about too much.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out if there are workers at the drill.
I like
that's
that.
why I was like,
So you look out and there are workers at the drill.
okay. So it's not it's not quitting time yet.
No.
Got it.
Or they just run third shift.
Trades. No.
third shift.
That's on call. That's like 3 people. No. And it wouldn't be. They wouldn't have on call for that.
All right.
All right.
Now that we've established kind of I have the book now in front of me here, so I don't have to use that. We sort of established the scene. You're all walking. What are you doing in the midst of the walk as you feel your feet against the ice and snow?
Jovthor is just kind of going to be analyzing like kind of all the tech and everything, just kind of comparing it to other things he's seen in the past, while also kind of pondering more upon the potential intergap creature that we interacted with roughly 24 hours ago. And just trying to see if there's anything else he's been thinking about and anything he could have done better to try and plan for the future.
Anybody doing anything different?
I assume this is outside the zone of atmosphere.
There is a very minuscule atmosphere present on this moon. Only enough for there to be intergap. But all of you are assumed to be wearing helmets and rebreathers. Or being Scott.
Yes.
I think while we're trudging along, Scott is, of course, taking in the landscape and like taking account for any dangers, but he's also in his head. He's trying to rationalize what is happening to him, and trying to connect the dots between Al's involvement in everything that's going on, his own creation, and his emergent personality.
Yeah, I believe we learned a little bit about your creator, did we not? What is coming to mind as you're processing that?
He's trying to determine what morality is, and what side of morality his creator may have fallen on, as far as it relates to him. And I think right now reality is very cold and logical, as opposed to sentimental. You know,
All right. It matches the setting. It's kind of cool, actually. I'm assuming you two are walking, just sort of looking at this scenario.
Ewan's kind of contemplating in his head things that have led him to this and what exactly he's thinking he'll get out of it. Being a bounty hunter and going through war, he knows how many people he's lost. And he doesn't want to lose his new friends and family.
Sure.
He's also turning the heater on his suit.
Aw, we're your family?
Don't push your luck.
Kane is walking in his regular clothes,
Yep, he is not affected by
Rebreather.
the cold at all.
Radiation.
still somehow slightly shivering every once in a while. Not due to the cold.
It's more psychosomatic
Emotional
than
shivers.
anything.
It's always cold.
Somebody roll a d12. Who is it? Zane has rolled it.
Apparently it's saying
3.
3.
A good 3, I hope.
All right. So, somebody roll a d10.
0.
That's 10.
10.
10.
Yeah.
So you begin to pass through. You see you're perpendicular with the now distant drill. You're walking towards where it would intersect this wall at a 90-degree angle, right? Straight in your direction. You can see it now immediately to your right. It's about the halfway point between when you get to this upper ramp. You can track it all the way there because there is a large gorge that cuts from where this drill has made it into the ice and is now all the way to the wall. And it's a wide gap. Like I say a gorge. And there is a rickety bridge that has been built between this gorge. But this bridge is made of metal. It's like if you took hook screws and drilled it into metal, beams, and they sort of spin like tubes over chains. And then you hold the sort of tubes over chains that go along this way. It's a rope bridge, but it's a chain bridge basically. But in this case, they have like metal tubes over it to keep the chains from completely freezing to where they would break, too brittle.
Gotcha, yeah.
So there's some friction, there's some protection, but it's still a metal rickety bridge. And it does seem to be the only passage across.
Did you say how long it was?
I'm gonna say, I want to say 100 feet.
Can I
Okay.
grab the bridge, send a slight electrical current through it to detect the integrity of the chains?
Yeah, I like it. why don't you make a perception check?
That is a 4.
4. Yeah, the bridge itself sort of doesn't really take the electricity. It's too cold. It doesn't seem to... I know. I know how electricity works. When I said it, I was like, no.
Just say it's the wrong kind of metal.
I'm going to say that it's not conducting. Yes, that's what I'll say. But as you touch it...
you wouldn't want it to be a conductive metal, otherwise that cold would go straight to you.
That'd be rough. In this case, you recognize that in order to cross this bridge, just based on kind of what you're touching and how you're feeling it, it sort of shakes a little bit. It's going to require a lot of balance, a lot of constitution to hold yourself across this bridge without falling.
Joe Thor's he's not going to look at it twice. I mean, just with him being simian and with his tail and climbing abilities, he's just going to
Go.
Yeah, he's just going to look at the others, see that they probably aren't going to lead, and he's just going to...
How would you fare at a stealth check?
Stealth +5.
Okay. I think you need to lead this group in a stealth check to gently cross this bridge
Okay.
without tying it up.
Flying speed's 30. Is that far enough to just
Not for
jetpack
How far
across?
was it?
I assume not, but
Flying speed is 30, but you can fly for a minute, and you could just basically fly for less than 10 rounds. You could just fly across. You don't have to worry about this. No.
could I do that
But-
there and back though?
Hold
Yeah.
on, though. Remember the last time you tried to make a stealth check with that jetpack?
This
Yes.
is more of a... I'm actually making him make a stealth check because it's more about being soft of foot. Not because of a
stealth.
stealth
That'd be
aspect.
dexterity. then.
It would be, but I'm giving him permission to attach a skill to it so that he can add his proficiency bonus as well.
Cool. Do it.
13.
13. Seems easy enough, right? You get about halfway across the bridge and everybody looks and sees you out there. Feels pretty good about it.
Is it Ewan flying, or is he walking across?
I like to think I flew over. but-
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely flying.
Okay.
I'm going to look to Kane and say, watch your step. Proceed.
Nice.
Couldn't Kane just have made a portal to get over through the inner gap?
I don't quite have that ability yet.
Not yet.
Go ahead, and anyone else who is crossing manually,
I'm
make
talking-
a constitution
I'm talking
check.
just about himself because he can go in and out of the inner gap
Me
during
again,
combats.
or like
Yeah,
in
but I
addition
come back
to
in the same place.
No, you're good.
Okay.
You led this.
Maybe someday.
Right.
You're allowed to be soft of foot because you're now no longer worrying about people's steps.
Okay.
You were just seeing if it was fine.
Did you say athletics or acrobatics?
I said constitution.
Oh,
I don't have to make one because
Okay.
I'm already over, right?
18
Or
for
do you
me.
need me to make one anyway?
Pretty good. You're
you-
flying?
Yeah.
Then you don't have to do anything.
'Kay.
You just cost your fly for the day.
19.
Some of it.
19?
Yeah.
Yeah, you both, without issue, go across. However, as soon as you finish crossing, the bridge falls.
Shouldn't have flown.
Joe Thor's gonna look back at it and is like, huh,
Kane is not looking back.
didn't expect that.
I'm going to assume that
Nothing
memory came with
happened.
you.
I was about to say,
Yes.
memory
It's
cross?
more of a point of no return,
Uh,
right? It's more of a symbolic point of no return.
We'll need to find another way back.
Well, that's a symbolic point of no return.
And somebody else roll a d12.
Go ahead.
I got it. 10.
Now
Huh.
someone else roll a d10.
10 again.
Yeah.
10.
I'm just good with
Again.
with D10s.
Or
Watch
bad.
Ragtag.
We'll find out.
Yeah, it's true.
So you see,
we'll never find
you
out.
see in the distance as you're sort of walking, a couple of large workers, men with huge drums for backpacks, holding these straps over their shoulders, and are walking. And there's 3 of them.
What kind of men?
What
What kind of men?
kind of men? They seem to be workers.
Okay. Is it like obviously their skin is blue and they're not wearing anything?
No, they're holding drums on their back, but they're wearing they have like boots and packed
With the fur.
clothing and ski caps, like the whole nine. They're ready to
Okay.
go out towards the drill, it looks like.
Gotcha.
And they're headed in that direction. And they look to you, and one of them sort of puts down the drum, and they're like, "What are you doing out here?"
But through the...
Yeah, like through the ground. What are you doing out here? But so they can hear me, I say it like this.
Oh,
Could we
you
hear
know, just walking.
Are you looking for those teenagers?
Yeah.
What? Have you seen him?
Oh yeah, a couple of them got caught moving through the snow too slowly and too late in the night. I think they got snowed in about that way, and they point to like a little hill in the distance that goes down. And
Is
then
that
back up to
mostly in the
another
direction
hill.
we're going, or
No, it'd be
different direction?
off the beaten path.
Oh, well, I guess there's... We can tell them we found them.
I mean, we should probably go see what else we can find out over there, just to make sure.
I'm going to look over to the guys and say, "Thank you," and wave them off.
And they put back on their backpacks and slowly, slow trek through the blowing winds towards the distant drill.
Turn back to Joe Floor. What were we saying?
Just making conversation.
My curiosity is piqued.
What?
Do we want to go see if they had any good stuff? Because they're not going to survive this.
What's your alignment?
I'm not sure if I ever
You're a
actually got
capitalist
alignment.
pig. I don't care if you're a simian.
No
Hey,
way.
money is
that a
money.
good
Is a revolutionary.
Money is money, and maybe if someone's asking for information, we can give them information. Maybe there's a reward. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not. It doesn't look to be that far away.
What is the cost benefit to our current objective?
I mean, are we in that much of a rush?
Yes.
Are we?
A super advanced intelligent AI is seeking to kill us and possibly start something that could endanger the entire system.
Not to mention, we have the entirety of the SCI-FI after us.
But the orb's down and money.
He's only seeking to kill you guys.
You really think that saving a bunch of teenagers is going to bring us money?
We're gonna save them? I thought they were dead.
I mean, they might be saved. They might be dead. And yeah,
Are you feeling all right, Joe Thor?
I mean, money. Money, money, money.
I'm going to check his temperature.
He's running
With
hot.
your metal
He's
hand?
running hot.
His body's overworking. No, I'm just kidding.
No. I mean, I'm just trying to be the good guy here and try and potentially save some teenagers. If you guys want to save
Are you a
teenagers,
good guy if you're only caring about the money?
I mean, you guys are the only ones that will know that I care about the money.
Are we good guys?
Are we?
Anarchy.
What is good?
It's cold out here, though.
My votes go look, but if you guys don't want to go,
So this is, you're at a crossroads. You can
Yep.
go in the direction of this hill, or I will hand wave and we will be at the destination.
I'll tell you this, out of character, I'm down to go. I just need an in-game reason.
yeah.
You've given Kane one. We have the opportunity to be the good guys. For once.
I don't think money's a great reason.
I'm just
That's
trying
weird
to.
for
I'm,
my character.
I'm trying
Wrong
to,
group.
I'm trying to
Watch,
stay in
watch
character.
Ragtag once a month. That's the group for
Yeah,
this.
that very much is the group for me.
I mean, Joe Thor has said multiple times that he is motivated by money.
Can I
and
know
that's
the,
just-
can I
So is Hammer.
uncanny Night of the Republic joke?
No,
there?
you're not. He's not a Jedi in this game.
Yeah, should have been.
Go check it out.
Look, guys. Let's go. Just see what we can find. If we don't see anything super obvious, and if we think is taking too much time or is going to risk our success for the other mission, then I'm totally okay with abandoning it. But let's just go see what happens.
I guess it's our cover story.
Exactly.
Somehow.
And what if we get stuck out there?
How?
Well, if it becomes
What's out there?
if we're worried, then we'll turn back.
If you're just so determined, it would be unwise for us to split up. So let us go.
Oh yeah, no, definitely don't split up. If you guys don't want to go, that's fine.
We gonna get stuck out there?
I mean, they did
so.
potentially.
All right, so we go after them.
All right.
We go to over
So-
yonder hill.
Somebody needs to lead this crew in a survival check to scout out this place.
I've got good
This
survival. Let
area.
me do it.
Definitely.
D20?
Yes.
17.
You said 7?
17.
17. That's very different.
A lot better.
A little bit different.
You, for a lack of a better phrase, have a bad feeling about this.
I thought this wasn't ragtag.
I know.
It's close enough. It's
I said it and I was like, yikes. So yeah, you do have a bad
let
feeling
Ewan
about
say
this.
it.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
There it is.
Now, the reason that you're not making what I'm about to do is because you've seen violence in the thousands.
In the snow.
And the rest of them, maybe not Scott, but the rest of you are going to feel this. So you cross over the hill. I'm going to just say a series of words.
Getting ready to feel this.
Limbs. Bodies. Blood. Shreds. Pieces. In a wide distance.
Huh.
And it's all there in this pit,
That's Memory's reaction.
piled up. I am going to make a wisdom save, and anyone that feels that is going to make a wisdom save.
I don't. I've seen it before.
You don't because you led the survival check.
Yeah.
I've made my wisdom saves a long
You can choose to
time ago.
if you're affected by this lack of respect for humanity.
I think I'm more just.
Ooh, is Scott...
I don't know if I am.
I'm giving you the
Does
choice.
he
I'm
feel
rolling
this?
it for myself. So I rolled a 13.
I rolled a 17.
Okay. Are you going to roll
He
radiation?
just
Man?
goes surprisingly numb.
Yikes. Are you going to roll anyway?
No.
Okay.
He's already made that wisdom save
So
thousands of years ago.
I believe you.
And 10 minutes ago.
And 10 minutes ago.
So we resist this grim feeling that this place exudes. And we are keeping our heads down and are okay. We suffer no adverse effects. However, it was the only dice rolls I was allowed to include in that were yours and mine.
Yeah.
And we have no effect, no benefit, and no fault.
So with that, Joe Thor is going to start, after kind of overcoming the shock of seeing all of that,
Yep.
he's going to start looking at everything very logically and analytically. So you said that limbs, just horrific scene.
It's
is
a pile of corpse.
roughly how many corpses?
Like if you were counting heads,
Yes.
you'd see more than 5.
That's a lot of teenagers.
Well, are the bodies of teenagers?
No.
Oh.
As you get closer and investigate, they are the bodies of workers. And you look in the distance and see those men with their backpacks on, slowly walking towards the drill,
Away from us.
away from you.
Do I notice anything about those men?
From here, it's tough to tell.
Do you remember anything about this one?
Can I recall any details?
I expected somebody to insight check me, but nobody did.
We should leave this place.
Some field trip this turned out to be.
Jovthor is, yeah. I mean, yeah, he got over kind of the shock of it all, but he's still mad, and he's like investigating. Like, are there any other? Like, is it just a pile of people and clothing?
Do you stick your hands in there?
What do I see before I stick my hands in there?
A pile of corpse.
Just a pile of corpses.
The pain is back.
This is an unwise course of action. We should immediately
Don't
leave.
touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Jovthor will, but he's gonna have his shocking grasp
Okay.
just ready. So, like, ready in action, I guess.
I like the idea that Jovthor activates his gauntlets a little bit, and then as he pushes his arm into this
It's
pile,
alive.
there's a little bit of some of the things that he touches, like
yeah.
a little bit of nerve endings that sort of activate.
You made that happen.
Yeah, nope, 100%.
And he pushes his arm, and it's your choice whether you make a medicine or investigation.
Investigation. Investigation.
We can save him. We have the technology.
That's good.
27.
27. You stick your arm
Which
in
one?
there.
What?
For which one?
Investigation. Okay.
I'm assuming.
Yeah,
You stick your arm in there and you grab something cylindrical,
solid.
Metal?
metallic,
There you go.
and you can grab it. It's like a soda can in your hand.
I'm gonna slowly pull it out and just kind of see if it gets stuck. Try not to crush it.
You begin to pull it, and you feel this, or you hear this first. And it's attached to a cord, and it's like have you ever seen like a wine opener where it's like the screw, and then there's
corkscrew.
but like now instead of that, imagine it's connected to something that would go on like the front of a Jeep, right? Like a
winch.
like a winch, but it's
Yeah.
just a handle, and you begin to pull, and you're pulling the winch.
I would like to use my thermal sight to scan this whole like pile and area.
It's super cold. There's no energy signature
No heat signature.
or life. No.
Jovthor is going to pause while he's pulling out because he hears it, and I assume as soon as he stops pulling it, it stops making that sound.
Yeah, it does.
And then he's just gonna be like, he's gonna look at everyone else and then slowly keep pulling it.
And Jovthor pulls and 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 pulls. It probably goes about 50 feet away from it, and then
like-
it goes
It's like a magician
and
with
gets caught.
rags.
Huh. And then Jovthor's just gonna
It has a bit of tension.
Is he gonna help you
And-
pull it?
he's going to kind of just let go, not let go, just release a little bit. Does it start winding back up? If he, okay, yeah,
Yep.
okay.
It starts to go back.
Hey guys, you wanna help me do something dumb?
No.
No.
I'm going to cut the wire.
Where are you standing when he cuts the wire?
I'm about 15 feet away from this pile.
I am
The whole
50.
time.
I am 50 feet away.
Kane's at the top of the hill.
You can't be because
Okay.
you're holding it.
So you're
No, I'm
where
50
are
feet
you
away
cutting
from the
this wire?
oh, right.
Closer to the handle by his hand.
Oh, okay. All right.
So he can't grab it.
So,
you
50
cut,
feet.
You cut.
from-
You go to this wire, and you just with his like vibro blade,
Yeah.
and then we
Hey.
just see this.
Why'd you do? Oh shit!
And it begins
Run.
to beep, beep, and beep, and more beeps. But it's continuing to do that. It's rapid fire doing that. How do you feel? What are you doing?
Kane's moving away.
Yes.
Get down.
Yeah, I'm definitely moving away. Still nothing on thermals?
It's beginning to get brighter.
Okay. Step back.
Yes, indeed.
Guys, I think we should run.
Kane's limping away.
I help Kane and
Yeah.
run.
I think
Yep.
we're all running back
And back in the direction that we came from.
away from it.
You run,
It's happening again.
and then eventually goes off.
Why would you cover an explosive with dead bodies?
Because of people that search them.
Oh, you have a winch attached to it.
I assume that it's starting to rain men. It's raining men.
No, I'm going to save the image. However, you do begin to get this.
Do any of those workers
As the
look back
ground
at
begins
us?
to shake a little bit.
Do any of those workers look back at us?
They're over the hill. We can't see.
Yeah.
They're far in
Oh,
distance
they're
now.
still too far. Okay.
And now the ground begins to shake. Everybody
look
make a
back.
dexterity saving throw.
18.
Hey.
5 for Jofthor.
7.
7. All right. I gotta do this. I gotta hit a button.
Oh wait, with proficiency bonus 10.
10 is good. It's not great. Who? How do I put this? No, fail's a fail. I'm true to
Yep,
my word.
yep.
So Jofthor, you have a climb speed.
I do.
Well, it doesn't save you in the ice, and you just a hole opens up between all of you.
Fissure.
A fissure, yes.
There you go.
This gap sort of slides, and you feel one side sort of sink a little bit towards now the bodies are like rising up and like on the hill, or not the bodies, but like where the remains were, all that sort of
Yeah.
rising up as you guys realize you're rising down. And then as that sort of opens up, there's a slip from Scott. He's metal, he can't grab his footing, and he goes over the edge, and Jofthor is nowhere to be found. What do you two do?
How quickly am I able to grab Scott before he starts falling and I can't reach him?
You can fly 30 feet, and you said you were right 50 feet away, and then he said he was
You said I've already used my fly today, though.
No,
no,
you
you
get
only
1
use-
minute total. I
right.
believe.
I mean, he does have 1 minute total. He probably flew across in 3 rounds, so he has. I guess
Good half of it.
you have
60
seven. You have
minus-
7. You have 7 rounds left, right?
Sure.
Sure.
So 42 seconds.
You have 7 rounds left of flight. Okay. Actually, yeah, you can choose to save one, but not them both. You fly down in the direction. You get on your jetpack. You see as it's sort of collapsing and falling, and you see this big, huge, black abyss, and you see Jofthor and Scott. Spider-Man, which do you choose?
Was Scott sliding?
I'm saying they both fall
Oh,
into the hole.
because I was next to Scott. Can I attempt to grab him?
Should you fail, you will fall in as well.
That makes sense.
Okay, go ahead and... How do you think this would be? What kind of skill do you think you would use?
Athletics?
I like that. That was what I was going to argue for. Go ahead and go. So who do you choose of those? I guess it depends on how he rolls.
I got a plus
Yeah.
3.
Because you may end up
That's why
choosing
I'm
him.
waiting.
Scott was next to me, so I have a chance to grab it.
Can I
You do.
assist him
Jofthor
by
was not.
trying to plug my feet into the wall and do the wall
I
climbing?
mean,
It was
You
mag-
losing
it was
your
magnetic.
footing implies to me that you are unable. You're not accounting for this moment. You slip, and then it's like whoa, and then so he's using his one moment of like focus to just grab you.
What did you have on your feet? Was it magnetic or was it actual like treads?
His was magnetic, but I think he had a knife in his arm he could use, right?
I mean, it is.
I guess.
To try to
I
grab
could
the
try
ice.
that.
It all depends on how this goes.
I mean, technically,
I
it was
mean,
just traction.
I'm trying to give him.
No, I understand. I don't think he can help you,
Okay.
or you can help him.
Okay.
That's an 11.
Is there any way I can give him advantage? Because that's kind of
Yeah,
what
you
I was
can. Right
trying to
there.
do.
Inspiration.
That's kind of what I was trying to do. Was
That would be the only way I could say that. I'm letting you. You want to? If you want to give him advantage, then you can forego catching Jofthor.
Right.
I'll wait.
Jofthor is just going to be yelling. You'd be like,
Oh, it's worse.
It's an 11.
Yeah, I guess I'm going for Joe.
Oh, oh my gosh! I have made
Saving
this scary enough that they are still rolling dice.
I guess I'm going for Joe then.
That's much better. 22.
Yeah. I'm
22.
going for Joe
He
Thor.
grabs Scott
Second grab.
and holds him, and then pulls with all his might. Maybe pulls his shoulder out, but he gets him up on the ice and snow, and then you dive down and grab Jofthor.
ah! Oh, good. Good. You heard me. Name that movie in the comments.
And you look around in the midst of all of it as you catch your footing, climbing back to the top of the snow. And you get yourself to the edge of the ramp. You climb up the ramp, and you're standing up near on the wall, and you're accounting for everything.
It's not the same.
And memory's not there.
It didn't all die.
Oh, biscuits.
Do I see where she went at all?
We can assume.
Like if she's all the way down?
Do you go towards the The hole,
Well, first off, what I'm
the
going
crack
to
in the ice.
I'm gonna try and get on comms. Like, memory, can you hear me? Memory.
Good call.
Good call. You hear
Literally.
Static or rumbling?
Just move farther away
static.
from Scott.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I move away.
Yes.
Go for it.
We'll move away. He's like, memory, come in. Memory.
Move further away from Scott.
I'm just kidding. No, you
Yeah.
get next to no reply. Actually, it's really tough. But you are getting a voice that does sound like memory, but it is in scattered, sporadic sound.
Yeah.
Well, I have 50 feet of rope.
You do.
How deep is it?
Can we
We don't
scan
know.
how deep it is?
Do you go next to it? It is a black.
You should.
It is a
Yeah.
black abyss as you look into it.
Jovthor is going to get down on
Hundreds
his
of feet.
belly and just kind of go up towards the edge and just kind of see what he can see on the edge while being on his belly, trying to have as low center of gravity as possible.
All right, I'm gonna change the music.
I'm going to hold Joe Thor's
Tail.
legs so that he didn't fall off.
All right, so you are doing what? Just looking?
Yeah, just looking and seeing if there is a path down that I could climb down potentially.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
It's
Make a
perception, it's
belaying
wisdom. 14.
You turn off footsteps now. All right. You hear what sounds like water.
That would make sense.
But other than that, it's all you get.
That makes sense in a frozen wasteland.
Down below the ice shelf, there is the possibility of it either being warmer or having enough pressure that the water has gone from ice or solid to liquid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Europa specifically, actually, it's believed that the subsurface is ocean.
Ah.
Or at least water.
Yeah. Well, that was a dumb idea, guys. I'm sorry. I was like, okay, well,
She's down there, isn't she?
probably. Kane, Ewan, kind of look around. Be careful. Don't try not to fall down deep. Look to see if she's in the surrounding area and just ran off. But most likely she is down below.
I saved one. Maybe I can save more.
I'm going to pick up like a rock or something and then very intentionally throw it in at an angle where it falls like directly into the middle
To drop it?
to determine a path down to the water.
Okay,
Just
yeah.
to see how.
Do I find one?
You hear this like... Bloop. And you do find a path.
Find a path.
You
So
like-
there's no straight shot down to the water.
You'll basically be sliding down a back and forth into the ice.
All right. Memory is vital to this mission. I suggest we find her immediately, and I just slide
You
down.
just slide down
I just
into
slide
the
down.
drink. Wow. So he slides down, and then Scott is underwater. He blinks, and there's a flashlight of light as he looks around into an eternal nothingness in both directions. And then he looks up, and he can see the light of Jupiter and the reflection of the sun on the upper ice. And you see what looks like a small sort of where the hill is.
Mm-hmm.
You see there's a pair of legs that are like pushing just barely against the ceiling, head pressed tightly against the side.
Kane is going after him
Splashes in as well,
and turning on the juice,
The juice.
creating light.
and there's more light. And you now see it is a yellow jacket extended into a large coat with legs.
I'm going to go.
Jovthor is not jumping down.
No.
I'm going to direct Kane's vision to that. I'm going to go try and retrieve her and bring her to a spot that we landed in.
Yeah, this is not unlike Iron Man flying in the upper atmosphere. you begin to feel yourself freeze as your joints sort of. And so you need to make a Constitution saving throw
Oh no.
to keep yourself from
Well, with
freezing
Kane
over.
being right there, wouldn't he put off some heat with the light?
It gives off some radiation.
And also, I'm immune to temperatures, so I'll be okay.
He's
Well,
not making con saves, but Scott is.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, wouldn't that radiation have enough heat to keep Scott from freezing?
Unless he decides to hit him with radiant damage.
Yeah, exactly. If he's close enough to me, sure. And he's taking radiant damage. But
Gotcha.
13.
13. You take 3 points of cold damage as you continue to swim up to the surface, and then you pop up. Thank goodness you don't take any air, because she has not very much left. As you see popping up above the water, she's like breathing in this little partial cap, but she's stuck under the ice.
So I'm intending to be in the hole where you can get out.
Yeah, you're like in the
being,
spot,
Basically being a lighthouse.
beaconing the area.
I'm going to say, come with me if you want to live, and I'm going to try
You grab her. Go ahead and give me another con save.
another con save.
I'm gonna do it as well.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Natural.
Good job.
Natty 20.
23.
Yeah, so you take only 1 point of cold damage, and
That adrenaline supplement is flowing.
because as you got colder, I was gonna
Up it?
to the 3rd power every time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was gonna get to 3, 9,
27.
27.
81.
Yeah, it was gonna go. It was gonna get dangerous
Thank God
fast.
for that 20.
But you got there, and you pull her up to the surface, and she's. How are you gonna get out?
Well, first I bring her closer to Kane. Says she needs to be warmed before she goes into hypothermia.
There you go.
She's shivering.
Yes. And taking radiant damage now.
Oh God! Here, don't die. Cancer.
But you won't be
We're
cold.
just microwaving her.
I know.
I mean,
She's getting warmer
slightly,
from the
yeah.
inside out.
Oh, it's 8. 8 radiant damage.
All right, so she takes
To the both of you.
8 radiant. Oh wow!
To the both of us.
Yeah, we
Yeah, 'cause
both
you're
take
bringing
it up
8
too. Close
radiant
enough.
damage.
Got within 5 feet.
All right.
Alrighty, and then you.
Hopefully that's enough to warm you up.
How are you going to get out? You're now looking up, and it's. You guys can look down and see that they're down there.
So how,
Yeah, I'm looking at what I have to use.
how far down?
Far enough that you could potentially get a rope down there.
I'm going to take my 5 T-Rex teeth.
Okay.
I'm going to tie them into a climbing rope
Oh,
Have you ever tried to tie while swimming?
as a robot.
I don't care if you're a robot or not. This is like, you have to apply some logic to this. Kicking your legs so fast that you keep your head above water is really hard.
But he's a machine.
As a
I wouldn't think
lifeguard,
he needs to
yes.
breathe.
You just jam them into the ice so we can get footholds.
Yeah, like I'll that's what I'm going to do. I'll jam one into the ice, grab up on it. I'll jam all, because I have 5. I'll jam them into the ice so that everyone can grab a hold. And then as I have one on there, I'll start tying, and then I'll start throwing them up. And then
I like it.
Yeah.
Because of the time that you're taking, I'm going to make you make one more con save. But other than that, I'm going to allow everyone to climb up. That seem like a fair trade?
Sounds like a fair trade.
And Joe Thor is going to take the rope that Scott left up above, I hope. And he's just
How's
going
he tying them together?
No, I definitely took that rope.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you tied them together. Never mind.
Do you have any rope?
Do I have any rope?
I 19.
19?
There you go.
So yeah, you're only going to take 3.
No.
Only
do
going
not
to take
have
3
any
points
rope.
of cold damage.
How do I not have
And
rope?
you are all able to climb up these T-Rex teeth. The fact that you don't have them anymore makes me sad. But
I still have mine.
you saved her life.
We don't have them anymore.
I don't know how many you had. You have 5. You only use 5, right?
I had-
But the way the
one.
climbers use them is they put one, they put
Do
another.
another.
They
Oh, you're
take the
taking one
bottom
out and then pushing it up. I see. That makes sense. I like it.
Okay.
I like the fiction there. It's cool. He climbs up and he's able to get out using his brute strength and robotic form. Pull out memory. How are you getting out?
Well,
Could they
I'll be
just
down there for a
toss the
while.
teeth back down to him when they get up there?
If we want to do a dexterity
See, I've got that one
catching.
staff.
You're able to get to the top
How
and
far
use
is
the
it?
rope. You throw down the rope and he's able to pull out.
How
He doesn't
far is
take any damage in the cold.
Right.
How far up
So
is
he can
it?
take his time.
You're able to get out. I'm just saying,
Oh.
with the limited effort,
Yeah.
you're able to get out. I just was making sure that you were getting out, and then you guys didn't say anything fast enough. So,
So 15 points of damage.
yeah, that was rough. Memory is also not looking fantastic either. She also has more hit points than I know what to do with. So you guys get to the top. You're able to walk to the ramp. You get up to the ramp and you see these huge. They look like the Twin Towers. I mean, they really do. They're these huge square. Why is that funny?
I've got ideas.
There's these. No, there's these. I'm not trying to get canceled. It's these huge square. Rectangle stacks. And you see them in the distance, and you walk in their direction. What is the plan?
Joe Thor's going to be looking for a place to warm up Memory. Because, I mean, yes, she does have more hit points than you know what to do with, but he's still going to be worried about her. So he's going to be kind of looking to see if there's any, like, diners or, like, shacks or something where they could go in and just...
Trash cans on fire.
Trash cans on fire.
I like the trash can on fire.
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
Definitely, you go over to the trash can on fire.
Or a trash can.
We see some teenagers.
Yeah, some teenagers. They're just there.
Spray painting the ice.
Yeah, he's like
drinking beer.
He's like circle, big circle.
Joe Flo's just gonna take Memory and just put her next to the trash cans. Like, this should hopefully help.
All right, you're able to warm up. If you want to take a rest, you can. If you need to get some hit dice back, I don't know how you're happy about yourself or not.
I mean, I could stand for a 4-hour rest.
A 4-hour rest?
That's a full rest for me.
Yeah, you could. You don't think you could spend some hit dice and take an hour?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that mechanic. All right, let's do it.
You guys take an hour to heal yourself.
Okay.
Memory spends hers as well.
Doing fun.
D8.
It's like a walk through the park.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a swim through the park.
Did I take... Was there any reason I took damage last episode?
I don't remember.
Always.
I don't think I've recovered damage since I almost died.
You always take damage.
I'm
for
assuming
some
you guys
reason.
are rested in the ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do that.
Okay, cool. I'm just making sure. Okay, yeah, so we take hour to warm up. Scott gets a little bit of hit points back, and
As he fixes his, he what is it? He probably clear out the ice. Probably like
yeah.
get it out and off. That's rough because you're made of metal. Like that's not great.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
Hello,
De-icing.
Tin Man.
Oil can.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, you did that. That's awesome. Cool. So you guys are able to do that. Now, you look up into the sky and you see several ships. You also look over towards the front of where the inner gap is and you see a lot of other ships. You could try to hail one down. You could try to steal one. Guess what's the plan? Because you are going to need a ship. Or are you going to take your ship to get through the inner gap? But basically right now, I'm assuming...
You're not taking our ship?
No, I'm assuming you're taking your ship.
Yeah.
But you're going to need to find a ship that is scheduled to go through the inner gap and interrupt that.
So we're looking to get a schedule.
You're either looking to get a schedule of some kind, find access.
I mean, I had an idea.
We know what happens when we follow your ideas.
Yeah. I was going to say, you've probably done
Yeah.
enough for this episode.
I mean, I was just going to say once we get to the ORB, I was going to have Joe for the word try and hack in and get our ship clearance to go through
What if
the intergap without raising alarms.
So what if let's put a spin on that. Instead of getting our ship clearance, let's try to make our ship look like someone else's ship, and then
Kane,
disable that person.
Kane, make a history check. What Scott just said brought up an idea.
I have an idea for 21.
Ooh.
Okay.
There we go.
Natural 20 plus 1, I'm sure.
Definitely has an idea.
I'm feeling really good after saving some people in that situation.
So
Similar to
Kane-
the other situation where everyone died.
Kane was a worker on Intergap freighters.
I was a worker on Intergrap freighters.
This is the thing you talked to me about. He's saying it now like he just heard of it. So anyway, he had spent a lot of time on these ships, and some of that time was in a rough state of affairs. But other times he was actually working his regular job. He was always blue, but never was he this unhappy, I guess. So he, anyway, had spent a lot of time on these things. There was always these important figures that had these badges. And attached to these badges, they would take out like the end, and it would have a key card. And there was always two of these guards. and they would put them into the machines and turn them both at the same time, and that would signal to activate the intergap.
The machine?
Right? The intergap itself, right? And the intergap, in order to get through in this moment, had to be sort of coated in this gel that would not let your ship sort of like take a lot of that energy when you got in. Sort of protects you like you would a fire protective gel.
Fire retardant.
Right? Sort of keep, what'd you call me? Sort of keep yourself covered in that when you light somebody on fire in like a movie, right? To keep them safe. And the ships are the same way. So Kane immediately thinks we need that gel if we're going to get our ship through. And then he also thinks that that Scott's idea definitely will work. However, they're going to have to find a way of alerting the other side that they're coming, or it's going to be in a lot of trouble in that way. So Scott's idea is great. He's agreeing with it wholesale, but he's adding those two added details.
So all those things I just said.
So to recap, we need to get to the ORB, hack the computer, find a ship, like in the registry.
Pretend to be them.
That's scheduled. Steal their identity, commit identity fraud, and then, but also find a way to equip ourselves to
With this
signal
gel.
the other side.
And
Yes,
get,
you
and-
need
and get the
this
gel.
gel.
So maybe
This-
we should find the ship that we're planning to imitate first.
This whole thing just reminds me of like the end of the Lego movie when they infiltrate the base.
Yes.
Of all the heist movies, that's where you went.
Dang it, it's so true.
Would we know
First try.
what that device
That's right.
is and where to find it?
Yes.
Okay.
I know what that device is and where to find it.
Where would that be?
That way.
So so basically, yes. ORB would be where you need to go and get your clearance and get all
Right.
those things. The gel itself, some of them might have been on those backpacks in those drums that those workers were carrying. The drills that they are using is actually in service of getting this gel,
Yeah, makes sense.
or manufacturing, or getting a piece of this gel.
Right.
Or maybe protecting in the way that they are drilling, or who knows. But those drums, a lot of those are. So what you could do is sort of retrace or look for people who have these drums on their back and see where they're getting the gel. Because each location is different where you're going to find that.
Or see where
Right.
they're taking the gel.
Which is closer, that worker camp or the ORB?
The ORB is
Orb.
currently closer because you're closer to the intergap gateway.
But if this is the only stairwell up and they were walking out, that means the way you walk in, also the stairwell.
You could you could retrace from that point to try to find some people who are
Or we
workers.
could just wait for somebody.
You could.
It's true.
One of them, that's a like more of a social
Unless-
investigation.
I feel like those
Yeah.
guys weren't who they looked like. That's my hunch.
Possibly not. Kill them.
And so I'm like, I don't know. They were like, go that way.
3 goblins in a trench coat?
Kinda.
It would be 9 goblins, 3 per trench coat.
Oh, sorry. Well, there are only like 2 guys.
Wait, I thought you said there were 3 guys.
I know there were 3 guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
sorry.
9
Never
goblins
mind.
walk into a bar.
The top one falls off.
So, which is it? ORB or mining camp first?
You gonna go back out there?
Well, the ORB's closer.
Yeah.
So then,
Yeah.
let's do the ORB.
Yeah, let's go to do the ORB, and maybe we can find a stash of the gel
Yeah.
there. If
You
not,
know what canisters to look for now.
yes. If we can't find them there, then we will go other places.
All right.
To the ORB.
So you guys look around for the area to go towards the ORB. Now, the ORB on Mars was this huge building. So you assume, look for the biggest building. Ah, the biggest building. And you find this like very large industrial complex. Now, this complex has pipes and wires and multiple connections to it. There are multiple ways to enter said base, whether it be vents or garage door openings or platforms or doors. There's a lot of different ways in. But Scott in particular, your sort of sense goes off and you sort of get this predetermined logic unit idea in your mind, and it's like a directive. I'm going to ask you right now, do you choose to follow your directive, or do you choose to ignore what seems unnatural for you to do?
I think I'm going to like stop, just dead stop where I'm at, and just like a pose for a second. And do that for like, I don't know, as long as it takes for everyone to keep walking and then notice that I'm not there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
They all turn.
Huh?
Scott, you good? And he'll kind of look on his back, see if that duct tape
Do you need me to
receiver
go
is
bright
still
again?
there.
Still there?
Yeah.
I'm going to just like, my head will twitch. And then I'll just keep walking forward with them.
Does he normally do that?
Do you follow the directive? Yes or no?
No.
You do not. All right. You do not follow the directive, and you continue to move towards the ORB. Now, rather than Scott, Ewan, go ahead and make a history check with advantage.
$14.
14. Okay. For the life of you, you used to know somebody that worked here. You used to know somebody that operated this ORB. And you're struggling to come up with the name, but you're wondering if they might remember you.
It's like a Robert something.
I thought it was Jack.
No. It was maybe Tim.
And you're like,
Tim, maybe?
I think your best point of entry
John.
might be the front door.
Could be.
I knew a guy. Spacing on his name, but I knew a guy that worked here. We may have a easier way in.
You say that about every place we go.
He might remember me.
Is this like Caden Jones?
No, I don't steal names. I make them up.
Valid.
Sounds good. I need that on a shirt.
Don't steal names. I make
I
them
don't
up.
steal names. I make them up.
Oh, yeah.
Is this person going to want to help us or shoot you?
Oh, that's a good question.
Hopefully help us.
And if not,
Could go either way.
I'm
How
also going to hope help us.
All right. If we get arrested, I'm
Again.
killing you.
Again,
You tried to
don't
kill
forget
memory.
again.
I think we'll call it even.
I
Again.
didn't try and kill Memory. She just happened to almost die based on something I did.
I've already been arrested.
So you finish walking, and you're outside this very large complex. There's a huge chain link fence that goes very, very, very tall, and the sort of front entranceway has this sort of, what's the word? Like entry post, like it's a person standing there, and then next to them is like
Guard-
a
guard post.
gatehouse, essentially.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. And you can enter through this way,
Scott.
and you could normally drive a vehicle up into the front, and you see that there's like a vehicle checkpoint. Somebody goes up towards the front, they wave a little ID, they do like 2 fingers to the guy inside the thing, and then they drive in, and then they get to this middle area, and you see all these lights. All the lights aim at the truck. The guy goes, "It's just me," and they're like, thumbs up, all the lights turn off, and then they drive into the facility.
Scott, should we stay outside for when they get arrested again?
if they attempt to go through the front door, that might not be a bad idea. However,
I assume memories with them and not with us.
I mean,
I don't know. Would you guys, would you guys split up?
No,
we're
we're
still
still all
a group.
together.
I
It's
get
being
that,
discussed.
but when you and I go up there, if they're going to hang back, I'm assuming memories with them.
having just observed the truck, I'm going to say, might I suggest we sneak on board one of those trucks to gain entry? It may have better odds of success.
Good call.
Before we do that, Ewan, do you see the person at the guard post that you may or may not remember the name to?
If I say yes, do I need to roll?
I mean,
I'm going to say yes.
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you one person in this whole facility that you recognize. It is your choice when you spend it.
oh,
What do
So,
you guys think it would be crucial to spend it?
I don't know.
I
Maybe.
think you're the one that is recognizing the person.
I think right now we have an alternative,
Who is this
so it
person?
might be better to spend that once we're in the facility.
Fair enough.
But it's up to you. Which one do you want to do?
I think I'll save it just to help us get a key.
Just don't get in trouble before you recognize someone. Right. And try to get them out.
It's like you're all under arrest. That guy.
Bill, I knew.
It's you.
I think it's a Han Solo Lando Calrissian kind of relationship.
Oh yeah, screw you type scenario. All right. So anyway, I like the
probably
truck
will be.
thing. You see another truck kind of lined up in the distance, and it's about to make its way. It sort of stops in traffic as multiple vehicles are kind of in a line to enter the facility.
Can I kind of motion for everyone to follow, and then try to stealthily?
Is this a abandoned road? Like, is there any foliage or boulders or anything on either side of the road? I'm trying to determine how
Only holographic.
I'm picturing
hard is it to sneak up on.
I'm picturing a city, right?
Yeah.
And on sort of each side are like lower buildings.
Low
and then-
rise city.
Yeah, it's like a low-rise city, and then this is like a huge wall that goes.
Okay.
I was
This
assuming we
area.
were going to have to take one of the trucks instead of trying to sneak in one. Just completely take one over.
But they knew the last guy.
I think it's the driver that's going to get us in.
Okay.
So, how does it seem feasible to sneak in this truck while it's
Yeah, you
in
could
traffic?
probably try. You're just
Okay.
gonna all have to make stealth checks.
Let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Hey. That's a lot better. Thanks, Andy.
19 for Ross, for Joe Thor.
13.
13,
At first it was a 5, but Andy's a great guy, and I got a 20.
20,
19.
19,
Only 20?
Yeah, it's a +4
19,
for stealth.
20, 19.
No, it's plus. How?
I probably forgot to
Your
change
dex
it.
is plus 5.
I probably forgot to change it.
11.
11. Majority passed. So as Scott leads the way,
What memory roll?
Better.
Memory rolled lower than all of you, but I will say majority passed. Now here's
She's
the
still cold.
She's also an NPC. The majority of you are all making it through, and then Scott gets spotted, and he's like, "Hey, robot."
Pretend to be a mannequin.
I'm going to walk up to his window and say, "Hello, sir. Would you be willing to donate?"
Get lost, get lost. And he's like, "Get away."
That works.
And I walk
And
away.
he walks away. He stealths successfully. So I'm assuming Scott does the under the truck routine because he can magnetize. He just like lays under the truck. It like passes
Yes.
by and then he's just stuck to it.
Love it.
The rest of you hop in the back. Because none of you can magnetize yourselves to the.
But I'm a
to the truck.
monkey. I can grab the bottom.
I can just stick to walls like Spider-Man. We have to mechanically explain why you have climb speed.
Spider-Man.
I like to think Joe Fatula just used his tail to grab onto the hitch of the truck.
Yeah. Just,
My tail's not that strong.
He's just dragging by his tail.
What is this? Am I an Indiana Jones whip now?
yeah, right?
Just butt first.
Anyway, so you guys get up to the edge of the facility and you see as these like robot dogs sort of like they have guns on their back, huge like
Sick.
rotating guns, like
All I
rotating looking
wanted
around, and these
was
guns are
robot
sort of
dogs with guns in their back.
yeah, they're awesome, and they're walking kind of on the outside of this truck, and they look underneath. Scott, re-roll your stealth check.
This is what I
boy.
mean. This is what I mean when I say I got that dog in me.
Pretend to be a mannequin.
Okay.
Okay.
13 or 23.
Hello.
23. The dog looks
You had me
underneath,
scared for a second, dude.
and you hear this like, doo-doo, doo. I can't make that sound. Doo. That's it. My voice is gone. Did you hear it? So the dog does not see you and makes this like all clear sound.
When that
And pulls
happens,
away.
I just like imagine my eyes, like the lights just turn off.
And then you
I
look
just
away.
go totally cold.
They look away and it's like,
I just think your spare part.
come back on. That's terrifying. And then the vehicle, the driver's like, yeah, hey, here, we're supposed to be here for this. I need somebody to roll the luck roll right now.
Luck
roll a
roll.
d20 and roll the luck roll.
Any modifiers?
This is the luck roll.
Just a straight roll.
This is a straight roll.
What is it?
This is a 10.
A 10.
Could be worse.
I feel like 10 is a halfway. Give me either way. Somebody re-roll that.
That's worse.
All right.
7's a lucky number.
So my odds were that it was somebody who was trying to break in, or if it was somebody who was supposed to be here.
Oh my god.
Can I?
And I'm gonna say that based on a 10 being less than 50% and a 7 just confirming my suspicions, that this person is not supposed to be here, and the truck that you are here on is not supposed to be here. You picked the wrong truck.
Oh my god.
But does he make it in?
I'm gonna make now what I'm gonna do
What's his name?
is he's gonna what is his name, guys?
No, not yet. Don't answer that question.
Don't name him. He'll get crits.
And he goes, I'm supposed to be here. This is look, my ID is clean.
You don't
And
need to see his identification.
I'm going to assist him by remote hacking whatever they scan his ID with.
He's within 30 feet.
So go ahead and roll a data check.
Who are we helping to break in here?
Data.
This guy has a big gray beard and a bandana on.
19.
And a robotic eye.
19. All right, so I'm going to give him advantage on his deception check. Because his identification is clean and he's just rolling here. All right, here we go. Oh, it's not great.
He tried.
So 13 total. He goes, I'm good. My ID's clean. And the guy goes, your ID is clean. Oh, what are you smoking? What are you doing? And the guy's like, I can't smoke here? And he's like,
details.
throw
Big
the
tobacco.
cigarette away. And he's like, well, I'm going to have to pull it in. He goes, you can't. We have to wait until the smoking is over. And he's like, oh, okay. He flicks the cigarette out. There's that natural 8.
Does he flick it at the
Just
at the
flicks it
scanner
out,
guy?
and there's a guy next to him who's holding the dog and gets hit in the face with the cigarette. And he's like, I'm sorry, it was not. And then he's like, sir, I'm going to have to ask you to get out. And then he goes, no. Somebody roll the luck roll.
Not me.
Yes, sir.
You'll never
15.
take me alive, coppers.
15. All right. 15 to me, that's a good outcome. When he floors the truck, he pushes some other cars out of the way. The little fence cracks open, and he's in the place. He gets out. He climbs out of the truck and he goes, "You'll never take me!" And he starts firing in many directions. Somebody roll the last luck roll.
Me.
This is my kind of guy.
10.
10 again?
No, sorry, 19.
19?
Sorry.
Oh,
sorry.
whoa,
sorry.
that's
It
way different.
looked like a 10.
19.
It's
Now, in your
19.
opinion, is a
Does
good
look like a
outcome that
10.
he dies in a blaze of glory, or is that he survives?
I
this
don't
encounter?
know. I think he's surviving for some reason, and he's going somewhere else and leading them away from us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
doing that,
What?
and he starts.
may die eventually, but he's not dead.
He starts
yet.
running to
I
the
think we
side.
need
He's
to take
behind a
him with
police
us.
car, and he's holding what would essentially be like an AK-47, and it's just and is
There's
now
like a
giving
whole-
you
There's a terrorist attack
Yeah.
going on.
There's a
giving
whole
you
shootout and
advantage on your stealth checks.
He's the one that brought up the Twin Towers. I'm just saying.
no.
Joe Flo's going to look to everyone and is like, let's take advantage of this
Now?
and sneak in. I assume there's just people running around everywhere. It's chaos.
Zane is Scott going to
Yeah.
give him one of his business cards he can just print off.
No.
It's one of your abilities. You got that on the beginning of the
maybe
game.
so.
Why would I leave a
but
business card?
This is a cool guy. He's criming away for
He is
us.
not a role model.
So,
And
So we sneak in.
yes, so Joe Thor is going to
advantage on stealth.
we need to roll stealth.
Advantage on stealth.
Wow.
22.
Also 22.
Bro, I rolled a 3 and a 2, so
That was 14.
14.
or 11.
So you're all. Here's what I'm gonna do. Because of the advantage, because of the scenario, they all notice you, and they're like, "Hey, they're getting into the facility. Look at them!" And then the guy goes, "They're what?" And he's like, what do you mean? He gets up, poof, and he gets dropped. And you all are able to get inside, but they have been alerted to your presence.
Daggone it.
So you're inside the facility, and then you hear this like this alarm going off. What do you do?
We have to move quickly.
What kind of door was behind us? Was it metal, glass, what? When we went in?
It's assume metal.
I think it's a gaping hole.
Well, we're
What
in.
happened?
The door that we used to get in after, like, they're like, oh, they're over there.
It's just like a standard door with like a little overhang and then like a little light above it, and then like
Yeah,
a
but is
little,
it
like scan
metal or
entry
glass?
Thing.
That's
It
okay.
is like a metal door.
Can I weld it with the necro sword?
You're gonna try to weld it with the sword. You will lock
Can
your
you?
only way out, but yes, and I won't even make you roll for it.
Because they can't get in.
Whoa, hold on.
Not your only way out, but a way out.
All right, okay.
Because now they can't follow us in.
I guess.
At least from there.
Joe Thor is immediately
Yeah, good.
he's immediately going to start looking for a computer terminal that he thinks is going to give him enough access to start kind of looking. And
Kane's gonna look for barrels of gel.
Barrels of gel. Go ahead and roll investigation checks.
– 17.
19.
21.
Wow.
5.
5. So what were you looking for?
The gels.
The gel. What were you looking for?
Gel.
Gel.
A computer that I can hack and utilize.
Terminal for hacking.
All right.
Utilize.
looking
Terminal for hacking.
That's what he's looking for.
And then you rolled a
Gel.
what?
Obviously.
I rolled a 17.
All right, so with the collective power of 3 stooges, you find the gel. You do find a pile of gel, but now you know this gel, you're going to need a lot of it. So you're looking around. Let's say you're in like a garage, kind of the entry area, right? You're in like a very large hangar, if you will, that has all these things. And then there's a larger kind of facility on the other side. You go over towards a computer, you do find one. And you, continuating your investigation check, begin to like kind of try to like poke around, try to see if you can't find a password or like, you know, if they've post-it noted it to the wall. And you're not seeing anything immediately in your area, but you did find the computer. And then in that very moment, there are people busting through the wall, not wall, but like busting into the room and begin sort of firing in your direction. This is more of like a tense situation than actual combat, because otherwise you would all die.
Yeah.
So basically, we're going to act as if the penalty for failure is getting shot.
Okay.
See.
Failure to retrieve what we want.
Failure
To roll
failure
well.
on your dice rolls and failure on your mission.
Now can I use that commander rank?
Oh, you're going to do it right now?
Well, no, because I have that badge.
You're going to use your commander rank?
Yeah.
Remind me again.
do what?
Remind me
So
again.
I have from Ewan's service in the SJF, he was a commander. He has a pin
Yeah.
signifying such.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
You
does.
would think something like that would have access and respect here. You would.
I'm gonna say yes, but also not when they're shooting at you.
I mean, you're
have used
basically
that to get in.
the reality is that I can make you can roll. I would love for you to roll a persuasion check with advantage, but you're failing and you're getting shot a lot.
Yeah. That's the price of
Well,
failure.
okay, but before you
He
say
rolled the dice.
before you say
10.
you're,
10?
10.
No
Okay.
modifiers. What was your modifier?
Huh? My modifier's a -1.
Oh.
Otherwise, it would have been 11.
God bless America.
Yeah.
All right.
okay, a question before you say anything, Jaden. Why didn't we use that pin to get into the facility?
Because we had a guy in the driver's seat. I wasn't worried.
I thought you were saying you were going to say, I know somebody in this room. That's what I thought you were about to do.
I'll try that if
You're
this
just gonna
doesn't
be
work.
like,
It's also not a great move.
A 10?
I'll try that if this doesn't work, because I do have a way to set that up.
it's like the SWAT team's breaking in. You're just like FBI. Just get
That's
lit
kind of
up.
what's
Pretty
happening.
much. That's
I
kind of.
don't know how to
yeah.
feel.
You could
You.
let it happen.
Can I convey a role playing reason over the mic?
So what's?
I mean, what's
DC?
your roleplay reason?
I would like suggest that he tell them that we're here to do a security test of the facility.
Yeah.
Oh,
During a
interesting.
terrorist attack?
He's like, this is a test.
This is this is a stress
No,
test.
what do you
are
what do you
failing.
say to try to persuade them? Or are you deceiving them? I mean, it doesn't really matter.
I'm
Still the
pretty
same.
sure it's deception no matter what.
Either way, it's a charisma roll, and I get a -1. But How do I want to phrase this? We're supposed to be here. We were sent from higher ups. Let us get done what we need to. You don't want to get fired over this.
All right. The 10 in my heart of hearts, truly, not because I feel bad, but because the 10 I'm going to give it to you, and that they stop fighting and they get closer to you. You are going to still have to roll. But you've survived this point. They come up to you and they're like, "Hello? Who are you?"
Commander Benogli, SJF.
Forgot that was your name. And he goes, "Okay." And the guy sort of walks up. He's got like an officer's uniform on. He's all wearing blue with the blue hat. And he says, "Commander Benogli. Okay, I'm going to need your classification ID number, please."
Tell me blew our cover trying to take out that guy.
8675309.
876.
Go ahead and roll a
that written
deception
down?
check
With advantage?
with advantage for being your senior commander.
Eight. Swapping dice.
What did the rest of you do as you watch him quote a song from the 2000s?
I'm going to try to remain absolutely still to try and activate Servant's invisibility.
Okay, Scott just doesn't move.
I think Jopthor is just shaking his head, and he's still working on the computer, like just hoping that that Ewan's distracting everyone enough to not, like, he's not like acting like frantic or anything. He's just typing on the computer, just doing stuff.
Kane is also trying to act like a mannequin like Scott.
Make a stealth check. What were you doing? Just sitting there?
No, doing stuff on the computer.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and make a data check.
I don't think they would know that song from
20.
1,000 years ago.
I'm saying you quoted a song from 2000.
Yeah, 20.
20.
Yeah.
So you hack in. You're like over there in the corner while they're all like trying to figure this out.
Right.
You pull up on the computer. You're like bent down looking up. What are you looking for? You're looking for the
So,
code logs of like all the
yes.
ships and stuff?
So, the first thing I'm doing is seeing all ships that are scheduled to have an intergap flight within the next 48 hours or so.
Yeah, you find one that matches your ship size, and you're able to sort of make that change. As soon as you do, you are locking yourself into that, and it's later this afternoon.
Okay, yeah.
All right,
Perfect.
you backspace, put in all of your information,
Banana ship.
hit enter, and then you hear 8675309, and you're like, that's definitely a made-up number. And then you just look up, and there's 3 officers around you aiming their weapons. And then several more come over to Mr. Benogli.
Stealth check was a 5, by the way.
They walk over to Kane, hold their guns, and Scott, you guys look around for Scott, and Scott has made his escape. Unless you look really closely and realize that he hasn't left the room.
Wow.
And we will pick up there next time. There is nothing else to say. Nothing else to say. Thank you so much for coming to watch Roll to One. Like and subscribe. Thank you for sticking around for Orbit 21. And thanks. Have a great one and a super fantastic rest of your night.